Alright guys, I guess we're back with more Horizon Forbidden West. Yeah, we're just doing side stuff, I guess. So I wasn't planning on doing this, however, I was going to start Psychonauts 2. The problem is that the game turned out to be corrupted on my hard drive, so I have to re-download it. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. But, yeah, I guess we'll just do some pre-roam in Horizon in the meantime. I'll probably listen to the podcast, and something I do want to do, actually, is, I didn't do. I did do it with Zoe. But I do want to go to all like the locations and talk to our allies and see like what's changed in that on that front. And like if we still have more time, like then I'll probably do this. Like the upload, I mean the download's gonna take about an hour, so why not? I probably, to be honest, I probably won't even play Psychonauts tonight, considering I gotta work pretty soon. So whatever. We'll probably just do some free round. We'll start Psychonauts tonight, probably. Yeah, let's see. Where do I want to start? Let's go back to Plainsong and talk to the Zoe. So listening to the Big Brother update from
today. Seems very genuine that he does want to work with Marty, but I do agree with you that I guess the notion of Marty already, in a sense, backstabbed you, or not really
going back into this game, it's like holy shit, this game does look really good.
Kind of ammo
like obviously you like notice at first, and then you take it for granted, and then it's like now playing it again after a while.
Yeah. So again, like in terms of where Josh is actually looking, I would imagine that it's probably the one person that he hasn't had many conversations with, which is probably gonna be Moose. But we will see. Targeting Moose has not worked out well for people in the past. And I'm hoping, I love Josh, and I'm starting to.
So where's Zoe again? She's by the chorus, right? Which, I mean, again, I've already done this one, but I might as well do this for footage, because again, I'm gonna do this.
I mean, he has that sneaking suspicion of Moose.
Because I'm gonna be doing a retrospective, like in-depth retrospective. Oh, is that it?
Gone are the days of waiting for death to find us. Now is the time to come together and fight.
Yeah, I think I fucked up that one. Alright, whatever. Like, does Petra have anything to say here? Who are our allies that are left? It's what, Kotallo, Alva, and Erend, right? We'll just do the main ones. I don't think I care enough to go to fucking Petra and some other characters like that.
That happens, so we'll see. We'll see. Jace is gonna have some conversations as well. Finally getting out there. Jace has a conversation with Kevin where he really finally kind of like she knows that there was a big alliance that broke up.
Las Vegas. How's it going?
I've been talking with Morland about how to get the word out about Nemesis up in the claim. The Oseram are free folk. It'll be hard to get them to work together. But him and me, we know a lot of people. We get enough of them riled up, the Eldermen will have to listen.
If anyone can make it happen, it's you guys.
Okay.
Heard you cleared out a rebel outpost. Huh. Good riddance.
There's that. What's the next one? Could they not finish that? Well, that one says complete and the other one doesn't, but whatever. Looks like I got the trophy, right? So I must have done a little bit of everything, but whatever. Here.
Up, but she's kind of like, I didn't know the name, and he says like, oh look, it's important to get numbers in the game, and I think that we should build some kind of group. She says maybe like a 5-person thing would be good. She thinks maybe they could pull Helena. So some preliminary talks there between Kevin and Jace about creating something. I think on Jace's part, this is mostly just
Moments later,
you know,
the entire
just
grove
like
was filled
humoring
with lights.
Kevin here.
Aloy,
But
I
Kevin
was
is
just telling Cavo how you revealed the visions after Regala's attack on the coal route.
I've always wondered what Chief Icaro saw and heard the day he conquered the Grove. Now we know.
I'm sorry you don't get to see it too.
It's okay. I know a chaplain who was there.
The deeds of the Ten have always inspired us in battle. Now they will guide us towards peace as well. All thanks to you, Aloy.
Where's Katalo, though? Like, I know he's around here.
Aloy. Come to see an old friend?
Oh, there he is.
Thank you for helping me with my new arm. The other Tenakth look at my new arm with apprehension. I like it. My new arm is strong, but I don't always need it.
That's all he has to say. Alright, and then, just got Alva, right? That's the last one. Should probably be up here, right?
Make
There she
way
is.
for the living ancestor.
Hey, Alva.
I think she has the actual
Thank you
cutscene.
for sticking around. I know it couldn't have been easy to stay when most of the Quen went home.
I came to this land to find a way to save my family. I can't go back yet. Not with what's coming. I told Bohai about Nemesis, and I gave him a new focus.
Oh. Are you sure we can trust him with it?
I know he'll probably find a way to twist it to his advantage with the other overseers back home. But once Gaia is completely up and running again, we might be able to set up a network so that we can stay in contact. Maybe I'll even get to speak to my sister. And he said he would petition the Emperor to send us aid.
Do you think the Emperor will listen?
To be honest, I don't know. But I hope so. We lost so many ships on the way here. I hope the flotilla has a safer journey home. When Nemesis comes, I'll be right there with you, Aloy. You know,
Okay.
I kind of miss the base.
So
All
that's
the
that.
data to look through.
Actually, no, oh yeah, I want to
and
go back to
others,
the base, too.
Of course. But at least we have our focuses to keep in touch.
Where's that again? Here.
is definitely making the attempt and seeing if these seeds will go anywhere.
Yeah, I have no thoughts about Jason and her gameplay.
Well, Jason's also going to talk with Josh, and I think this is a bit more of a genuine conversation for Jace, at least game-wise. Jace feels like things are working out this week, and she asks how Josh feels about the Honey Bunch coming back together, because Summer's been pushing that. And he says, I feel fine about it, for now. Jace says, yeah, I've never felt great about it, like, even from the beginning, because whenever Summer talks about the Honey Bunch, she says it comes with an expiry date.
And that's so funny just to say that to someone in your alliance.
I'm surprised you're staying in the base. Thought you'd slink away to one of your workshops.
The capabilities of this facility are adequate for now.
Well, make yourself at home, I guess. So you finally got what you always wanted.
Yes. All the knowledge of the Apollo database at our fingertips. At long last. Once Gaia removes the last traces of Zenith code from it, that is. We are entering a brave new world, Aloy. You'd best be ready for it. Hephaestus will undoubtedly design new and deadlier machines now that it's returned to the global Culver network.
And we still need it to permanently fix the biosphere.
Perhaps there's another way, courtesy of Apollo. Time will tell.
So these ones I'm missing. Oh, I don't care not to do it. What do you need for 100% completion anyway? What am I even at in terms of completion? 78%? Oh yeah, I still haven't even done any war totems. I forgot about that. Like those are like God of War references.
Oh my goodness. Which is weird, because honey does last a while, you know? Like,
Oh goodness, Taryn. I don't need honey bunches of oats.
I guess honey bunches of oats, that's a cereal, right? I guess that would last a while.
I had a lot of theories on what destroyed the Zenith colony on Sirius, but the twisted amalgamation of uploaded Zenith brain scans was definitely not one of them. And now it's headed for Earth. Yeah.
Okay.
It wouldn't last a while, but honey, I guess it does.
So yeah, I think...
I mean, it's not like a lot of honey, but sometimes you put honey in things. I'm not just sitting there like guzzling honey down.
No, I wouldn't think so.
Yeah. She says she feels good about Josh, Gino, and herself as a solid trio. And he's like, yeah, me too. Me too. But, you know, Jace, it's very important that we keep that on the super down low. Don't say that to anybody. And they talk about, like, maybe we could bring somebody else in. Jace proposes Jess. Maybe we can bring Jess in. And Josh is like, yeah, I'd be okay with Jess. They just need to, like, you know, chill. He says, like, let's aim for next week on that. Let's wait until next week before we do anything there. And he says, and with the Marty thing, like, I'm fine with Marty being in on it as well, but, you know, it's hard to work with someone when you can't even talk to them. Like, this guy opens his mouth so much. It's, again, like Josh... I think it's easy to look at what Josh is doing and say, like, oh, he's just telling everybody what they want to hear, but he is maintaining a delicate balance of maintaining the perception of where his relationships are with each person, and in order to do that, you need to have people that you are, you know, supposedly not cool with, in order for it to seem like you are cool with the person you're talking to, because nobody, especially in Big Brother, wants a person that's just cool with everybody. They're going to be like, well, if they're cool with everybody, they're cool with nobody. And so, but you also have to be careful about who you name, and so, you know, Marty and Josh are they recognize that Josh is going to be saying this about Marty, and Marty's okay with that. And Josh is also like this with Jace and Gino. Like, people can't know that Josh is with Jace and Gino. So he's like, just don't tell anybody that I'm with you. And he's got to hope that sticks, right? And he could definitely be blown up if people start talking. But right now, he's doing a very good job of making sure that everything stays balanced here.
Which I really love with Josh's gameplay. And even, you know, Jace brought up Jess's name. And even if Jace goes to Jess and says, hey, we want to work with you, naming, oh, me, Gino, and Josh, we want to bring you into our alliance, can already, and I think someone already did that, kind of named the alliance, and then, hey, we want to bring you into this number. It's like, oh, I'm already at the bottom. And I think that put into Jace's mind that, hey, don't list us as an alliance even when approaching Jess with this situation. Just like, hey, I kind of want to work with you and Josh and see how that goes. And so I think this is very smart on Josh's behalf, and smart for kind of Big Brother future players to watch out for, and to kind of dumb down certain relationships, but to dumb down them to the right person just in case it goes back, or just kind of all bases covered, basically.
Yeah, and Herman is going to be trying to keep his bases covered as well. He's going to talk with Marty and have one of those kind of like, we're cool, right? Like, you know, we kind of ended up on the same side, right? Like, we don't need to be looking at each other. There's plenty of other people that we can be looking at, you know, with an HOH coming up, and that's why I'm talking to you. We'll see if that really goes anywhere. We know that for probably both of them, they're not exactly
it's right here.
the closest allied people at the moment. But the conversation is open. It's never. There's no harm in trying here for Herman, and I appreciate the effort. Summer's going to talk a bit with Jess to let Jess know that you know, because Jess is still kind of being informed about the happenings of last week and this week, and Summer lets Jess know that she feels like Gino was probably going to put Tanisha on the block if it hadn't been Kyle. And Jess is like, well, I would have been gone if he had done that. That would have been unfortunate. And Summer lets them know that, you know, the showmans, I'm starting to feel like, yeah, we got to break this showmans up. We gotta separate these two.
Of course, someone wants to separate them too. I want them two separated. I am a Sino stan, and that's the only driving force that's pushing me on to be for the Canada season 10, baby. It's the Sino aspect of it.
Which is no jealousy, it's just gameplay.
Yes, no jealousy, no jealousy. Even though I want to cuddle with him, I want to like, you know, I want to flirt with them without Jace coming in the room and annoying us. I want that too, but I understand it's being gameplay as well. But I if I was Summer, I would want the same damn thing to happen as well, because I feel like even though Summer and Gino already have a close bond, like a very trusting bond, I feel like just with Jace out of the way, it would strengthen it even more and kind of make Gino more indebted to Summer in multiple aspects. So.
Yeah, and it's like, oh man, Gino put Kyle up on the block. He got so much goodwill from the house, and that goodwill has lasted up until about Wednesday. Now the showmance needs to be broken up.
Period.
Don't put up your friends, folks.
Do you like showmances? You don't like showmances, do you?
I mean, I'm indifferent to them. Like, you know, I like some of them. I like when, you know, I like Aika and Dimitri, Kevin and Peely. Like, I'm down for those. But, you know, like, Kevin and Peely, like, they didn't spend their all day making out on the feeds. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm like, all right, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What's this?
If you can have a showmance and still be an entertaining and strategic player in the game, then I don't care.
You're all for it. Okay.
I also don't want to spend like 15 minutes of every episode on like
lovey-dovey clips.
We're making out. We love each other.
Under the blankets, yeah. All that type of stuff. Even though if I was in the house, I'd be making out 15 hours a day. Joking. But no, I feel you.
So Jess is going to talk to Josh. This is when they check in about the Marty thing. We already talked about that. They're going to get some pizza.
Love pizza. I don't eat pizza. I'm lactose intolerant. And I have been eating pizza this week, and I have the day would have been in overdrive this week.
Oof, yeah. Man, that's sad. I'm so sorry, Jacob, about the pizza. You're in New York too now.
I know.
Man,
I hate it.
One of the big things that happens, you know, we'll skip that for now. We'll get to the Kyle thing at the end. We'll finish the game stuff for now. Kevin and Marty talk late into the night. Kevin warns Marty that, you know, you need to win HOH, dude. I think a lot of people are starting to look at you as somebody that they can put up, which is very true. And Marty is going to express that he is not feeling great about Tanisha. He feels like Tanisha might be coming for him, which, a little bit. Moose, Herman, Betty, Summer, he's worried about all of these people coming after him, and again, that's at the end, they kind of are. So we'll see what happens here. You know, if Marty were to win, we're probably looking at like Tanisha, Herman, Moose, Tanisha, Herman, Summer, something like that, going up on the block.
And I mean, Marty hasn't been a slouch in competitions. He's been doing very well, and that's why a lot of people are having their eyes on him. I know it was a conversation yesterday. I believe it was Jess and probably Josh, someone. But they were saying how good Marty has been in competition. So he does need to win. I feel like he has a good shot at winning depending on the competition. I know a lot of talk has been like buzzkill and stuff like that. So if that's the case, then kind of first out on what.
Yeah, and Marty also had a check-in with Helena on day 26 here, and again reaffirmed his loyalty to her and their final two, and the fact that they're working together. I'd be interested to see where Marty like really fires the shot into, because Helena would definitely be pushing Herman. I think he would be inclined to agree. I think Kevin would be very fine with Herman, but Josh might push Moose. Now that he has a thing with Herman, it might not be worth losing Herman, but Josh is also not the biggest pusher overall, and so he might be like, you know what, fine, I don't trust Herman anyway, and let Herman go. But it could be interesting to see where the influences go, because all of them would also be trying to pretend like they weren't with Marty and that they had nothing to do with his nominations.
Yeah.
So that could definitely be an interesting situation there. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at heading into tonight's eviction and HOH competition. A lot of people now looking at Marty either as an easy nomination or an easy target, with Gino and Jace up there as well as definitely options for nominations. Maybe splitting up the showmans, definitely a possibility. Summer has implied that she doesn't really intend to win the HOH, that she'd rather win some vetoes than HOHs, and I don't like this. I don't like this from Summer. I get it. I get that the audience often is saying this too, like if you're good with everyone, you don't need to win HOH. I am mostly in disagreement with this notion. I think you should almost always be trying to win HOH. I think it's a huge position to have if you can play it well, and a player like Summer, who's very talented at this game, I think she could play it well. The longer you don't win HOH, the riskier it becomes, I think, in the game. I would rather see Summer trying to win than not. But she's probably not going to be trying to win, which means that's at least one person off the board. Most other people, I would say, are trying to win. So with that in mind, again, you've got Marty, Gino, and Jace, I would say, in some hot seats. You've got Herman in a little bit of trouble as well, especially with, Helena and Kevin and a few others looking to maybe take that shot. I would say Moose in some trouble as well. And then a little bit of like Tanisha, as always, could be in trouble. But the house, as we've been saying, very fluid, could really go in any direction at this point.
I love a fluid house. And I love the fact that Betty has, honestly dialed it back in a massive way. I feel like from
who flew on the wings of the 10.
Oh, this is like a really end game.
I thought maybe you could help me and the village. And the forest to the west, our people have always found good salvage from shell walkers and clamberjaw piles, but now killer machines stalk the area. Claw striders for certain. And I've heard rumors of something worse. In years past, I would have asked Marshal Chikata to help me clear out the threat, but he was killed at Barren Light. Now I'm alone, and there aren't enough seasoned soldiers here to help. What do you say? You up for a hunt?
I just might be.
Strange. Chikata used to use those same words in the same way. A good omen, I suppose. All right, meet me at the edge of the forest, west of here. We'll hunt together. I'll be glad for the company.
Hard to remember. Where's this? This is a cool visual.
I'm still getting a signal from my focus.
From when she was originally put up till now, and I'm very proud of her, and I love what I'm seeing, and I love the rekindling, or not rekindling because it was never kindled, but the kindling of her and Kevin.
I
just wanted to point out that she is kind of doing really not really well, but just like improving constantly based off of her position and kind of, her gameplay.
Yeah. So the other big thing that happened last night is that Kyle wanted to, knowing it was his last night in the house, he wanted to, and again, it's hard to know exactly what to call this. It felt like a group therapy session. It was like a mental health check-in, sort of like a tie-in to his podcast or something along those lines. But he said he wanted to, like, help normalize opening up about your feelings, having conversations about mental health. I think, at least in terms of the stated intentions there, like that sounds nice. The result was sort of mixed in terms of response. You got everyone together into a group and encourage them all to open up about their mental health struggles that they've had, their feelings, and they all do. We missed portions of it here and there as the feeds were cutting in and out. There were a lot of it was like very personal conversations and mentioning people I'm sure that hadn't signed releases was part of it as well. But I'm not gonna like share each person's story. It's all very personal stuff that came out in the session. Kyle sort of made sure to say, like, I don't have a degree in psychology or anything like that. This is just just trying to encourage people opening up and sharing. But again, so everybody opens up and they have like a big hug afterward. But Betty and Tanisha afterward are kind of just like, that felt a little wrong. That felt like it was just like he wanted viewers for the podcast more than anything else. And Josh seemed very skeptical of the whole process as well. Being a doctor himself, his mom, I think he said, is a psychologist. Felt like this is maybe not the place to do this. But that you should, encourage people to go to the places where you should do this. A lot of people watching as well felt a little weird about the whole situation, but it happened.
it happened. I mean, when I was watching it, I think initially I was like, okay, if they want to open up, I think it's on a national stage and opening up about like that much personal feelings, and especially with Kyle not being on, like, really, I mean, he's on like amicable terms with a lot of people. Some most people really don't like him in the house, and so just having that position being where he was at and him kind of being the facilitator of the conversation threw me off a little bit, just because you want people to open up, but you also aren't the type of energy that they're like comfortable with. I can see both sides, but who will know Kyle's true intention about the situation and why he wanted to bring it up? It could go both ways. So
yeah, and I think part of it, for me at least, is like the group setting, right? The group setting and the sort of when everybody starts sharing, I think that there's then sort of a social pressure put on you to then open up and share, even if you don't feel comfortable doing it, because especially in the situation where you're playing a social game, and like, you feel like maybe there would even be repercussions if like you're the one person that doesn't share something, and so you feel like maybe you have to share, and the kinds of things being shared in this public situation where they're all being recorded and broadcast, where like there are triggering topics that can be brought up. I feel like it's just kind of a dangerous territory to wade into. I feel like if Kyle wanted to do something like this, for me, I feel like the way to have done it is for him to just have opened up about himself and just been like, this is an opportunity for me to be an example of what I'm talking about. I'm going to open up to you about my issues, and we can talk about me, and like that's it, right? Like, not like this kind of like group circle where everyone takes turns, because that's sort of like, I think, putting that pressure on that I think is a little unnecessary. But that's again, it happened.
Yeah, I mean, especially with a 24-hour live feed and you're opening up, and I mean, sometimes you can be so submerged in the house you forget about the live feeds in a way, and bringing up conversations. What you said again, like, I think part of the reason why the feeds were cut is because people who didn't sign a waiver to have their names released were involved in some of the stories, and so it could just be all a lie. So I agree with you with that.
Yeah. Well, that's it here for day 26. Anything else you wanted to talk about, Jacob?
Day 26 is actually a music group. Actually, they're R&B music.
Is it a good music group?
No, they stopped. I think they had 1 album, 2 albums. They had a show called Making the Band with Diddy. Throwback. Yeah, Diddy had a show called Making the Band, and Day 26 was a music group. But no, I'm excited because I feel like we have, specifically because this week was everyone knew the target. It wasn't that much shuffling with like the nominees on the block right now, and I think a lot of attention was put on next week, and I'm very excited to see how the development between Moose and his gameplay. I don't know. I just love watching Moose. I love seeing him interact with different people, and also Josh.
Actually,
so I'm
I think
hoping
what
that
we're
even
gonna
though I
do, I
don't
think
want
we
Josh to
might
win
cut this
HOH,
episode
I would just
now.
still love
And I'll
to
just do
see
another one maybe afterwards.
more of
Because
him
like to be
coming
honest, I
into
kind of
himself as
want
a player. He's a very like
footage of this.
confident. I feel
I
very
feel like most
like
of the rest of the things I'm
self-assured.
gonna do today are probably gonna be like kind of waste of footage.
You too. You were more than friends.
Yes. Whenever he left on a mission, I felt an ache in my chest. I know he's gone forever.
He meant a lot to you. I'm so sorry, Ikota.
Don't be. You did a good thing for the village and gave a lonely old soldier some solace. Here, take this. You deserve it. You're young and strong with many victories ahead. But perhaps someday you could come back if you're up for another hunt.
I just might be.
Okay. I'd also like to do more arena stuff, to be honest. I guess we'll go there. We'll probably call it an episode.
Very smart individual, and watching him talk to people and form a relationship with people really excite me. And so, yeah. I'm excited. Also, yes, Day 26 had a few good songs, but Danny Kane is superior. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's what we've got for Day 26 then. Of course, I will be live on Twitch today to talk about the Stockwatch.